What's up, chummers? Welcome back to the Shadows. My name is Splattercat, and we are here today with the next episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the previous episode, things had gone really bad, and thus reinforced my view that there's no such thing as a milk run. And so in this episode, we're going to try and keep ourselves alive. We got caught in an ambush, we lost one of our men, which is not an uncommon thing to have happen. Ooh, we're going to have to lower that down quite a bit. I think I'm going to banish the spirit, actually. During that turn, they don't tell you this, but during that turn you can banish the spirit as a result. Just in case you were wondering, I'm going to go down to here to eliminate line of sight because I'm very adverse to being shot by miniguns. They're scary as hell and they make worry noises, and it just makes me feel as though I'm probably not going to live very long. And so we'll get everybody else back into position. Now I'm going to have her use an AP to reload. That guy was moving, man. He definitely ate his Wheaties this morning. And the security captain is right up on top of us, which means on the next turn we are probably going to get fragged. Oh, this is going to be bad. Yikes. Let's full cover everybody. We have to. I don't have a whole lot of options right now. I'll just throw a knife out there. I mean, whatever. And if you aren't behind full cover at the end of this round, it's really gonna hurt. So we'll throw an acid bolt on him, maybe? Do something. No matter what we do. I think I'm gonna step around to here. She's only got 3. It's still a little bit finicky. This is a problem from the previous game where it can be hard to select things that are behind your character. There we go. And so I think what I'm gonna do with her, she's still got a cooldown there. Let's guarantee a shot. Ooh, 2 crits, but not enough. He's gonna waste an AP throwing down on a health kit and then returning fire. Another round coming in. Ooh, the door is open. Let's get the hell out of here. God. I'm gonna spread the damage around a little bit. If you're a hot-based character, I'm sorry, a dot-based character, you always want to spread your damage around if you can manage it. Ah. Bad. What was her last? 10? Alright, so Dietrich's gonna throw a heal on her for 10. This might be the time. Let's throw out, not a force 2, we'll throw out a force 1. And so we got another Wind Dancer, which is really nice because they're incredibly accurate, so we can finally put a little bit of pain on this guy. The door is open though, which means we should probably be running the hell away right about now. God. We're gonna have to use a med kit on ourselves. Seeing how incredibly pinned down we are right now. It may be in our best interest. Let's start migrating a bit. Nothing there either. This is pretty bad. We might be able to survive if we use our Wind Dancer properly. Let's see if we can't reduce his AP first. If we manage, it's a really good thing. And if we don't, well, then at least we tried. Then from there, I think I'm just going to auto-attack him. I don't know if you're even supposed to beat this guy. He's pretty tough. He's definitely got nasty bastard lockdown on hold. Dietrich, do the same thing. We're going to try and make a run for the door. Okay, so because he was fried, he didn't take a turn right there, which is amazing for us. With her, how is her accuracy so damn terrible right there? I'm going to use her pump because you always want to use an adrenal pump if you have one. Every couple seconds. I mean, a free AP is always a good plan. That sucks. That's really, really bad what just happened. So that means it's time to get the hell out of here. So somehow with a 13% chance we managed to fail that one, which is special. It's pretty special. How much HP does he have missing? A lot. So let's go ahead and throw a med kit on him with one of our APs. Because he has to survive. We don't have a choice there. Ooh, and we managed to get him with the multi-burst shot right there. Good. And so with Diedrich, what we want to apply ourselves to now, he's very dangerous. He becomes a major problem for us. Now on the plus side, he should continue firing at him. Let's get Diedrich into a position where he can fight with this bot. The door unlocks with a loud click. Your escape route is clear. Good. Fantastic. Amazing. Could not be better. Ow. Damn. They are really, really just focus firing my main character. So he's going to take 10 damage per turn from that, which means he may die either way. There's really no way of telling. And that being said, that means I need to get him out of here, like anywhere that he can take extra fire, because I don't even know if he has the HP to survive the damage he's already taken. Okay, so there's 10 right there. And in order to get us the hell out of here, you don't get XP for killing extra guys, just so you guys know. So it's usually in your best interest just to run the hell away if you're totally outgunned. Oh, he doesn't have any extra. Okay, so we'll just have him run away then. Use a final med kit to make sure that our main character doesn't die, because that's job one right now. I don't know how long those fizzles are going to last, but they're lasting a really, really, really long time. Well, it worked out in our favor. Our Wind Dancer managed to be an amazing diversion for us, so we may get out of here in, well, more than not one piece, but I mean, we've lost one of our... We're getting out of here in like 75% of pieces. So let's use everybody else's AP. You do have to zone every single individual in an escape situation, so be aware of that. And there we are. So the game definitely seems to have taken a step up with regards to difficulty. I will give it that. Iger rises from her corpse-strewn perch at your approach. From the look on her face, it's obvious she's already sized up the situation. I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. Yeah, we can talk about this later. Let's bug out. Tell me something I don't know. Iger slaps the side of the van. Pile in, people, in three-tow. When we get back to the cruise baser, we're gonna have a little talk. I don't know how to say it. It's like Cruise-Baser. I don't even know how to say that word, so... German, you have defeated me, unfortunately. When we get back to the cruise baser, we're gonna have a little talk. For the rest of the game, it's known as the cruise baser. Because that sounds more humorous to me, I guess. The Cruise Baser. Kreuzberg, home to nearly 500,000 people, and until very recently, Monica Schaefer. Once a melting pot of cultural diversity, it's now a chaotic mess of wealth and poverty, crime and commerce, anarchy and control. And tons of conjunctions in that sentence. It's also home to your own little slice of Berlin, a neighborhood that locals call the Cruise Baser. A south port or a safe port in the eye of a storm. The ride back to the cruise baser is quiet. No one is in a talking mood as the van peers past potholes and garbage piles. The glare of streetlights and neon signs plays across your windows, painting the world in a kaleidoscope of garish colors. Soon, the van rounds the corner and skids to a halt in a narrow, crumbling valley. This is as far as Berlin's chaotic streets will take you. Your team wordlessly debarks the vehicle and climbs down into a disused section of the U-Bahn tunnel system, a well-kept secret, providing your team safe passage into the cruise baser. Your safe house awaits on the other side. Let's get inside. Destroy all humans. That's not very polite. Can't happen fast enough, love. The sooner we get in, the sooner I can get drunk. Is that how we spend our time after we finish runs? Just getting totally pissed? I would want to focus at the task at hand, figuring out who betrayed us and like what's going on. I can't, but then again, I have like anxiety problems, so I can't rest until all of my situations have been handled. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord, part deal-maker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the room as he takes it all in, the grim faces, the hard stares, and Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? Something in Vault Security... Something in Vault Security got her while she was jacked in. It was over in an instant. I've seen Monica hit black ice before. This was something worse. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrust a gloved finger into your chest, and this idiot stood by and let it happen. I think I'll brush her finger. We can shove her and say, poke me again, I dare you. We can ignore it and be professional. I think I'm going to defend... I mean, people don't poke me. That's just the way it goes. People don't poke me. And so we're going to brush her finger aside and say, that's bullshit, Iger. You weren't even in the room. No, I wasn't there, and that's exactly the problem. If I'd been in your place, Monica would be alive and with us. Instead, I left her with you, and now my friend is a corpse my friend is a corpse in a basement. Look, Iger, Three Toes right. You weren't stuck in that basement with us. You don't know how things went down there. So do us all a favor and shut it down, alright? Shut it down? Fuck that! Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich, and you know that, but you don't have my training. None of you do. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated this job like it was a game, and if you do that long enough, you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Amsel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass between Monica's first convulsion and her plug being pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Look, this won't... You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your That's enough! Amsel's voice comes out in a roar. His fist smashes down against the desk behind him. Iger, you and Three Toe can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you to something much bigger than he led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run. Oh god, I missed... My finger doubled to... No. No. Can I go back? No? He pauses and rubs his temples. I'm going to assume that the lady that was made out of cyberware was like, we've got to take action. Because basically we're all just kind of committing a fallacy of group soliloquies right now and agreeing with each other. He pauses and rubs his temples. Agreed, and to neutralize that danger, we need to know what we're dealing with. Okay, so she said something along the lines of, we're still in danger given what we found down there. That's what she said. Let's review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Well, the estate was a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Amsel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. The facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than what we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And all in secret. I doubt that the owners, whoever they may be, are too pleased by your escape. What else did you find? After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That's not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts come from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I'll see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? Monica lived long enough to say a word. Swear... Oh god, that word. Fuerschwinge, I think is how... But you have to do like Fuerschwinge. Like you have to do like a thing at the end, and I can't do it because phonetics being what they are, I've been locked out of being able to pronounce that. So Fuerschwinge. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Firewing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me, but this brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. Firewing. The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You're far too young to remember, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Firewing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. I'm just going to use the English translation because I don't feel like I'm capable enough to say that word over and over and over again. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Firewing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amsel takes a deep breath and slowly releases it. There's a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend, no hope for salvation and no end in sight. It was a horror you can't begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course, but it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hides. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down into the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. This event was called the Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero and our own Siegfried a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was an important event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that we've never heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Iger. Not just on a natural level, or on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, and a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago, so to the best of my knowledge, the story of Firewing is a bit of historical trivia, nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No. It doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Firewing has been dead and gone for 42 years, and there's one thing I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was very, very important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, and slowly releases it. I'll look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Nope, that's all we've got. It's not much. Amsel nods, his face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. And so we have a couple different ways we can question about our financier for the run. And so, yeah, whoever set us into this knew what we were walking into. We were set up. But that's obvious, but why? Paul's face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. You didn't bring it to her? Nope, she set the whole thing up herself. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for the cause, anything for the Flux state. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And that was all it took. Well, it sounds like Green Winters is our best lead then. Most definitely. It's clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably going to rabbit. We need to chase him down before it happens. Any leads? There's a man here in the cruise base, or a Turk named Altug Barak Ghazi. He owns a little soy calf shop down the way called Cafe Kesvi. I don't know if that's Sezvi or Kesvi. Sorry. I mean, if you're Turkish, you'll have to enlighten me. This man is also a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altug. One of his people began keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. Pragmatic. It sounds like it's about time that I pay Altug a visit. Sure, tell him I sent you. I'll do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered, although it's very, very sparse. Alright, so we're free and we've got ourselves some karma. We'll want to be careful about the way we spend our karma. The game has gotten a lot more vicious. One thing I will say about the aperture, or I suppose the construction of the game, is that it's become a bit more vicious. That first fight was probably about as difficult as something you would have seen in the mid to end game in the first game, so we'll want to be very careful about the way we allocate our points from here on out. We don't want to waste anything. I guess we've got some conversationalism to do here. Let's start with Amsel, since we're already starting next to him. Three-toe. Amsel peers at you through a battered pair of wire-rimmed glasses. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get the information about Green Winters? Okay, so he's just going to be a placeholder. He's going to tell us to keep working. Let's go talk to the Dogie. Nah, let's go talk to Dietrich first. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there's still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Thrito, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've got a fallen comrade to drink to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Whatever, take the bottle. To Monica, Prost. The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hand. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Thrito. What made you choose to come to Berlin? Well, what do you want to know? Monica told me that you moved here from the Rhine-Ruhr megaplex. You made it sound like you'd been there for a good many years. Successful years at that. Leads a man to wonder why you packed up and moved here. Time for a change. Oh, come on, boss. Nobody moves to Berlin without a good reason. Well, if you need to know, I came back for Monica. Well, then I'm sorry to hear for your loss. Even sorrier, I mean, if a man can be such a thing. A look of profound sadness crosses Dietrich's face, and he takes another long swig from his bottle. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyways? I know you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about those things. Well, why do you want to know? Monica was my friend and I cared about her. Dietrich shrugs. I don't know. I guess that I just want to know her better. There were some areas of her life I've always seen as a mystery, and if I could shed some light on them, I'd be appreciative. Well, I guess I can respect that. Hopefully this guy isn't selling us out. So what's the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. You're really close. Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said. I just had a suspicion. Anyway, good on you both. He raises his bottle to you in a salute. She was a wonderful woman, and I hope that your time together was happy. Anyways, I've taken up enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull in the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. Yep, pour it out for the homies. That's the best that you can do right now. Doggy, what are you up to? As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh, shit. Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amsel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite reach his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago, turned into a full-blown howl that wouldn't stop and kept... He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something had happened. Oh, don't do that. Come on now. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Damn it. Well, I suppose we'll just scratch it behind the ears. Dante leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your legs. I guess the dog is going with you, Thrito. Amsel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished up with Altug, my friend. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters and we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor, and now I think we should all just take a moment. For Monica. Yeah, it's... wow. Just had to bring a dog into the equation. Just had to bring them eyes in. Well, I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. It's getting a little bit... This kind of got like an Empire Strikes Back feeling to it. It's really kind of dark right now. They definitely started this game out on a very deep and dark kind of introspective note. So I think we're going to give it a break. And in the next episode, we're going to catch this campaign full blast and try and figure out what happened to our friend. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in Germany, more specifically in Berlin, for another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. It is my pleasure to lead you through all this. I'll see you in the next episode, and run safely in the shadows, chummers.